What's happening, folks? It's Abhinav from Phone Bunch and this is our review of the Lenovo K4 Note. Now, I've been meaning to do this review for some time now. Actually, I've been using the Lenovo K4 Note for about a month now as my secondary smartphone. Most of the time just to watch movies, television shows or YouTube videos because it has those excellent front-firing speakers and a brilliant 5.5-inch 1080p display up front. It's plenty sharp, colors look quite accurate, but the thing that I like about the K4 Note are those front-firing speakers. They are loud, they are crisp, they have some bass to them as well. I really didn't need another set of speakers to be plugged into the device. Now, before I get into more detail, let me talk about the build. So you have the volume rocker and power button on the right, both are sturdy, offer good feedback. You have the headset jack at the top, brilliant throughput through that, and you have the micro USB port with a single microphone at the bottom. You have fast charging built into the device as well with the fast charger in the box. Now if you look at the back, you'll see that it is sort of curved, which does make the phone far easier to hold. You'll also find the 13 megapixel camera and the fingerprint sensor right there. The phone, even though it weighs more than 150 grams, it doesn't feel bulky, although it's definitely not meant for single-handed use. And if I talk about the fingerprint sensor, it is very accurate and it is very fast as well. Actually, it is a bit better than the one that we get with the Lenovo One. There are some useful features too. You can single tap it to reach the home screen from anywhere, and long tapping gets you into the app switcher. You can also single tap it to take photographs with the rear camera or the front camera. It actually works a bit better with the front one to take selfies. Now if we talk about that back cover, in itself it does seem a bit flimsy, but when on the phone it is pretty solid. I didn't hear any creaking. Now this is a dual SIM 4G LTE cable device, and there is a separate micro SD card slot as well. A 3300 mAh non-removable battery can also be found. Coming to the front again, I really can't applaud these speakers enough. They are loud, crisp and clear. However, the capacitive button should have been backlit. Nevertheless, if we come to that display, it is very bright and it has good color reproduction. Whites do look white and the colors really seem to pop. Viewing angles are also quite wide, which you can see. But now let's talk about the ANTVR headset that you can get separately or as a bundle with the Lenovo K4 Note. Now in itself, it has good construction, it's not that bulky, it sits well on your face, has some cushioning to it as well. So is it worth spending that 1300 odd rupees on the VR headset separately? Well, it is not. Now after the first few days of using it to watch videos and movies, I actually forgot about it. The VR experience is built into the device itself, so any video that you play, anything that you want to watch can be converted into that VR experience. But with that ANTVR headset specifically, there is no mode of interacting with that video content. So you can watch 360-degree videos because that works with a gyroscope that is also available on the device, which you see right here. So that definitely works, but interacting with games or any such content is not possible. So the ANTVR headset is actually quite limited. But for watching videos, it does a pretty decent job. Mostly, it is a bit gimmicky. Now before we get to the camera review part of this video, I wanted to talk about network and call quality. Now we didn't have any issues with network reception as such, but the call quality is just alright. Now the other person on the line was able to hear me clearly most of the time, but on my side audio did seem a bit muffled, a bit muddled as well. Now all of this also depends on the network of your choice, the reception in your area, but when I compared it with other phones that I've been using recently, it did seem a bit lacking. Now data speeds as well as Wi-Fi reception did work out quite fine. You have Wi-Fi AC available here, so you have dual band support over 2.4 and 5 GHz. Which is always appreciated in this price bracket. Even navigation did work out quite fine. It was able to locate quickly and didn't miss any turns. Now let's talk about that camera. So the camera interface is pretty bland. It's pretty rudimentary. There are not many features there. You just have a few filters baked in. The camera's shutter speed is pretty good, but it does have a bit of an issue when focusing on close by objects. Apart from that, it's a very decent camera in this price segment. The Moto G3 definitely has a better camera when it comes to low light, indoor shots, outdoor shots, and even videos. Even the front-facing camera is a bit better on the Moto G3. Now the K4 Note is quite better than the La 1S when it comes to the camera. You can watch our video, I'll have a card up top. In all these shots you can see that the color reproduction is pretty good. Low levels of noise, even distant shots do turn out quite well. There is some detail there, although not a lot. Even macro shots actually did turn out quite well, but you have to wait for the camera to focus in there to get the perfect shot. HDR mode works very well over here. You can see that there. Now as we come indoors, the camera does begin to show some of its weaknesses. But the flash helps. It does add a slight yellowish tinge, but not that much. Low light photography is still quite decent on the K4 Note, especially when you compare it to the competition. Now with good exposure control, the HDR mode working quite well, and decent low light performance, the K4 Note definitely has a decent camera in this price segment, even if it's not the best. Well folks, now let's get to the best feature of this smartphone, those speakers. The audio experience on the Lenovo K4 Note is unparalleled in this price segment and even much higher. Those speakers are loud, they are crispy, and they sound absolutely fantastic. Even through the headset jack over Bluetooth, the audio experience is brilliant. Whether you are listening to music or you're watching videos, the experience is really immersive. FM radio again is supported, it works well, and videos look really crisp on this 1080p display. Overall, if I just had to give the multimedia experience a rating, I would give it 10 out of 10. But it's not all about music or videos. The software running on the Lenovo K4 Note has gotten a bit better as well. It does perform quite well, there are far less glitches, no app crashes, and it's actually quite smooth to work with as well. You have widget support baked in as well, there are some themes that you can customize with, so there is lots going for the VibeUI, the light version that is running on the K4 Note. You have customizable notification shades. So yes, you are not compromising on speed or performance with this new VibeUI. It gets the job done and gets the job done well. Underneath the hood you have Android 5.1 Lollipop, which may be upgraded in the future, but there is no timeline. Now there's 16 gigs of onboard storage on the device, out of which you will get about 9 odd gigs. You can expand storage with a micro SD card, and USB OTG is also supported. Always great to see. Now 3 gigs of RAM on the device, out of which about 1.4 gigs is free right now. So even that extra gig of RAM that is available on the K4 Note really helps with multitasking, and in general VibeUI really flies through. I haven't noticed any lag in the interface, apps opened up quickly, and there are some extra features like permission control which was introduced with Marshmallow, but then again it's available with VibeUI. In general too, performance is very good. Web browsing worked out well, even apps load up quickly, and even switching between apps is quite fine. Where things go a bit south is gaming. Asphalt 8 did perform quite well even in high settings. Yes, there was a slight hint of lag sometimes, but where it really fails to impress is when you play first-person shooters, at least the higher-end ones, like Modern Combat 5 or you take Nova 3. There the phone actually did lag quite a bit. Nova 3 was almost unplayable. However, if we went to GTA, that actually worked out quite well. So it is a bit of a mixed bag with the MediaTek MT6753 chipset that is running on the device. We have seen this chipset perform far better than what we saw on the K4 Note, so it may become better with an OTA update in the future, but for now, this is definitely not meant if you are looking for a smartphone just for gaming. Which is a bit sad because those front-firing speakers and that excellent display would have made for an excellent gaming smartphone. Now another thing that disappointed me a little bit was the battery life on the device. I was getting around 4 to 4.5 hours of screen on time on average, which is just about decent for a smartphone in this price bracket. The Moto G actually gave me far better battery life. So my usual day consists of listening to a bit of music over Bluetooth, watching some videos, replying to emails, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, the general combo. So with that, this phone lasted me one work day. So when I came at night, I was generally at about 20 to 30% and I had to charge it again. Well folks, with that, let's try to reach a conclusion for the K4 Note. It has really an unmatched multimedia experience. Brilliant speakers, a very good display, and overall good performance as well. Yes, it doesn't do well in gaming and the battery life leaves a bit to be desired. Overall, it's still a great phone for listening to music, watching videos, but the VR push with the device is a bit of a gimmick. Don't give in to that. Overall, the K4 Note is a good device. I just wish that the battery life was slightly better. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions about this or any other phone that we are reviewing, do hit that comment section. And as always, have a great day.